Hey, Pamela. Hey, Ginger. Y'all doing okay? Hanging in there. Um, Sabina texted me a while ago and said that they found Jonathan Everett. Uh, and it was indeed too late. And I asked her, I said, has the mom said anything? She said she didn't know. Hey, Andy. So this, she's at work. She don't get off till 9 tonight. Um, I just come on for a little while to let everybody know about Jonathan Everett that we did last night. They found him, but unfortunately, it's too late. Um, I said last night. I prayed that he didn't feel anything or suffer in any which way. Um, when he said blew up, and then yeah, about a question, and then it's me, yep, and then he talked about the dog being out, and it was last seen, I reckon, on the 26th on somebody's trail cam. Hey, Sabina. And then he said, "Yeah, mom." And then, you know, I hated to have to ask it, but uh, I already had got a couple of words, from a child's voice. And he said, "Yeah," or I am, yeah. And I asked, did he see his dad make anything that could be explosive. Awesome, awesome deal. Um, and he said, I did, saying that he did see his dad doing stuff like that. And then I said, you know, did you want to? No, he said, because of mom. And that's the reason he was there. It kind of sounded like he didn't want to go to his dad's in the first place. Um, and then he was an off person. Um, then I heard dad put that on me. Just had Christmas with my mother. Yeah, yeah, he did. And then the word bomb. So there was also two words here that come out last night and said was shot. But now, like I said, now I don't know if that's related to him or maybe the dad himself since he was in the service. I don't know. Um, his dad may have been shot time two over there. Um, that it's a bad situation, especially now. But the one that's gonna carry the biggest on this here is if he did not want to go to his daddy's and his mom made him, she's never gonna live that down. Um, she she's gonna carry that with her forever. What was it? What Pamela say? See if I can see if I can get this thing to. Hey, 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 what's up? Man. Found 2 miles from home. John picked up dog. Didn't leave the boy's side. Your your mom is here listening to good. If she got a cell phone or a device, subscribe on it too. Two people jumped off again since last night. And then I see Sabina says, "Sorry for your loss, Pamela. What's going on? What loss?" Pamela, what's going on? If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Well, I figured that person ain't nothing but a nut job, but um, like I said, two jumped off since last night. Um, that could be the two new ones. I don't know yet. Um, I usually can click on this thing here, but it'd be between 5:30 and 6 o'clock usually when it lets me have it. YouTube's weird. Um, well, they do, and they've been doing it for years. Um, they'll come over here and get stuff, and then they take it back over there. Wherever they're at doing stuff. Um, I've even had, matter of fact, when I very first started YouTube, bless you, love. Um, there was a guy texted me. He had a YouTube channel, and he asked me if I cared for him to use one of my videos. And, you know, I said, hell no, because I know what that would lead up to. So I cut that right off the top. No. So I know people have been trying to do that, they'll come over here and find out what I'm getting and then go back and tell it. And I can't count. I mean, I don't have enough fingers to count how many people's doing that. Um, the, and the things that I do, it's either come here and get it by subbing up, or you can pay $2.99 a minute up to $24.99 a minute for somebody to get your info and give you a line full of crap. Um, but that's their choice. But coming over here, getting my info and taking it back, no, ain't right. I'm I'm near about fixing to have to, and it would, if I did that. I've always said I don't want to have to do that. Um, but I mean, I can do it where it's $5 a month. You know, um, but I know my loyal fans. So see, and I've always wanted this thing to grow without having to do any of that. But I have been taken advantage of so much. It's crazy. Um, and I didn't do this by choice, really. Um, my grandmother is the one that told me that I should share what I do with people, and I have. One day ago was 5 years that I've been doing this, and I never wanted to go big and nothing like that. Um, I've just always wanted to grow a good family here and be able to let people hear from their loved ones and whatnot and stuff, and not have to worry with that. They know they can be right here with me and get what they need. But people have took it way out of proportion here, and there's a difference in way people are born. I believe everybody is born with some sort of gift. Now, where if you learn to use it or not, I don't know. Um, I had a calling when I was 7 years old. Um, I think a lot of people. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Carol. I think a lot of people take people's expectations and what they do and turn it around with different topic names. Um, if truth be told, you know, and I say this, and I'll say it to everybody. When you hear the word psychic, a true psychic is someone that can predict the future. They they get it all twisted up, you see. And that's the same thing about churches and whatnot. It all reads the same, but they bring it out that it's meant for a different reason, or just certain words is changed. That's why there's different denominations. I am no psychic. I can't tell you what it's going to do tomorrow unless I look at the weather, and then I ain't sure. I'm not a medium. A medium is someone that can sit down and hear from a deceased person and only allowed to get what that deceased person offers to show. And that's all a medium can go off of. A sensitive, the way I was born, there's no filter in it. You can see what they look like before, after, and in between. You hear it, you see it, you feel it. And it takes a toll on the body. It's not just something easily done. You have to open yourself up for this kind of thing. And dead energy is something hard to push off. I've had it to take sometimes a month. And it can cause all kind of symptoms to the body. But people take certain terms for people out of context completely. They twist it around. Hey, Paula, that they this one can do that, this one do that. No, that's not the way it works. Uh, yeah, it breaks my heart too, Sabina. I asked Sabina. I said, do you, has the mom said anything? And she said she don't know. She ain't heard nothing. Uh, you doing okay, Paula? I noticed I didn't see you on yesterday, but it was around 10 o'clock though for went live. Um, Bless you, love. Uh, so I don't know if you watched yesterday's show or not, Paula, but we was trying to reach out to Jonathan Everett Bowley, 5-year old out of Walker County down here in Alabama. Um, the dad, he was ex-military, and somehow, anyway, he's been locked up, uh, and wouldn't tell where his 5-year old son went. And what was strange about it is that he only got to see his son 5 days a year. Who's ever heard of that crap? I've never heard no custody situations like that. So he had to be bad off for that to happen in the first place. Then they started talking about there was explosives and whatnot in the house. Um, and then on that they were talking about on that clip said something about his dog. Uh, it was seen on somebody's trail cam on the 26th, and when they just started beating around the bush because that cop wanted to stop all searches from his county. So I turned that off, and I went into trying to reach out to him and got some pretty legit things here. Uh, I heard blew up, yeah, and then he said dog is out. And see, they said that on the clip. And then he says, dog is out. There you go, love. Uh, and then I heard, because I just kept calling out over and over. You know how I do. If until I get somebody to confirm their name or a, a parent or somebody's name, or is that your mom, or is that your dad? Just little questions like that, especially for children. Uh, and then he said, "It's me." Yeah. And then I asked the question. He said, "Yeah." And then mom. And then I asked, which already knowing that we all was praying that we wouldn't hear a word about anything of it, but that didn't turn out right. But he said, "Yeah, I am." So at that time, I knowed that he was deceased. And I said, "Did you ever see your dad make anything in the house that could blow up?" And he said, "Yes." And then I heard someone, I don't know who it was a female, I believe, said he was a off person. So military could have messed him up. Uh, and then he said something right here said, because of mom. I don't think he wanted to go to his daddy's for them 5 days. And they ain't gonna change my mind on that. Because right down here, he said, and I'm talking about precise. You hear it plain as day. There wasn't no cracks nowhere. Just had Christmas with my mother. Um, but before that, he said, Dad put that on me. And then just had Christmas with my mother. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he did. And then the last thing I got was bomb. Oh, yes. Prayers. Um, yeah. So if this little feller, Jonathan Everett Bowley, seen what his dad was doing, then he had an idea of what was going to happen. And you could understand that this little feller's world was turned upside down. He knew that he wasn't able to get to his mom. He was right there with his dad, and she lived off down in Florida. You know, he had to be scared, just out of his mind. And I asked the Lord, just don't let him have felt anything, you know. And it it was just it was just a messed up deal. Uh, I think that he's went nuts. Um, they said that they locked him up for uh, unrelated to that, for something. I don't know what it was, but now that they found him, now he'll be charged with first degree murder, either life without or uh, death by the needle, one or the other, probably. Uh, Two wrongs don't make a right, so he needs to sit in there a while. But we're that county. I can't stand. Yeah, that would be number one right off. To be obvious, there. Um, we have to pay for these nut jobs to be in the daggum prisons, jailhouse. It ain't right. We have to do it neither. Um, but anyway, she when I say she, I mean Sabina brought it to my attention. She texted me a while ago and told me. And the way that this is played out, and him, if you listen to it, he's got the tone that he did not want to go to his dad's. And then he said, because of mom. If she sees this, or yesterday, for sure she's going to carry that on her for the rest of her life, which she probably will anyway. If she's got a heart in her chest, sometimes you just got to go with your gut. This is this is terrible. Um, but with his dog, uh, said never left his side. Um, then maybe, just theoretically, what if his dog knew and had smelt a camera like that before in a home? What if the dog was seen in front of that camera and was walking in the direction that somebody needed to come to. I've heard a lot of time that when an animal acts strange, sometimes they're just asking for help. And now I guess we'll never know unless he ever, you know, says so. But with it not leaving his side, that's awesome in its own way. Uh, yeah, prayers to everyone. Come, I don't know of a soul that couldn't use a good prayer. Oh, it burns me up. Hey, thank you for that. Um, something other worship. Sounded like from that girl that we did the other day. That little girl. They said that I heard that the dad killed that girl. I guess that explains the it being set up. Who is that voice there? What's your name? Yeah. I don't know if you just said Bowley or not. I just heard that same voice from last night, and I heard Rose say, "It's okay. I'm here with you." He let you know. Bowley, yeah. How could what? Boy, how could the dad do it? Um, for one, drugs. Two, he's just not a godly person. Um, well, yeah, that was mean. You don't that yes, Rose is a beautiful soul. His dad's not what? In any likeness, I would say that's right. When he gets to the to prison, he'll be burned anyway. Yeah, a lot of people beat him. A lot of people beat him up. Yeah. Uh, Rose does have a pretty voice. Yes. Mimi Jean said replay. She's watching the replay. And I think last night or yesterday when I did that video of the cemetery, someone shared that video. Now it's all gonna be down to the mom. Yeah. Um. What was I going? It got shared as well. So whoever did that, thank you. But again, two people jumped off since last night. So. Lisa's on here. You're talking about Lisa Ann. I had good timing for what, Rose? Well, I wouldn't have known it till tonight if it hadn't been for Sabina. She texted me and told me. Skin color? Yeah, she's a good one. I mean, Jean ain't on here yet. She's watching that other video. Well, that was the first one of 2026, and we didn't get lucky on that one. Hey, Holger, and it's terrible that out of all last year, we only got 3 that was found safe and okay. Uh, I sure did want to start off a new year like this. Even with him being on drugs and whatnot, something had set him off. I don't know if maybe he heard his son not wanting to come. Maybe that hurt him, or just only being able to see him 5 days a year. He got fed up with it. I don't know. That is no excuse for what's happened. Um, we don't know yet how or or what. Um, but the words "was shot" did come through last night. So, and again, I don't know if that might have been for the dad. Might have got shot over there, and mm, or it could have been Jonathan. I don't know. Yep, that's the one we've lost right here. Yeah, he getting rest now. You said that clearly. Now he can rest. Yeah, Sabina's right there. Something about Mama was Mama was sick or something. He was lucky he could run. Yeah, yeah, they found him. He knew he would be in danger. Somebody's trying to get a large amount of energy right there. Did you hear how them words were waving together? Yeah, and his dog right there beside it. They said about 2 miles from their house. They found him this morning. No, man, that gummit. He had a brother that we knowed of. Uh, he's gonna miss him. Yes, he is. Um,
I guess.
uh, he might not be sitting so fancy with his mom right now. Um, because like I said, it sounded to me like he did not want to go to his dad's. It's like he had a fear of why not to go, and she took him anyway. How is she not gonna feel responsible for all this? You know, I mean, no, she didn't kill him, but it sometimes it don't hurt to listen to your child. Daggum. And just cause court tells you something that you're supposed to do, it if you have a different feeling than that, we should never got involved with a daggum court system. No way. People ought to work it out amongst themselves. Um, they've been plenty of times that if people would have just listened to their child in the beginning, they would still have them to this day, and that happens all the time. He he's probably sitting pretty angry right now with his mom. Yeah. Um, and if truth be told, they don't tell him how many times he probably begged not to go. And we just heard a minute ago that uh, he was scared and he knew that he would be in danger. I mean, so our kids sometimes can be 20 times smarter than any of us. Dang, uh, yeah, yeah, he lived with his mother down there in Florida, but he got 5 days a year up here with his daddy. And then now his daddy went and killed him. Dadgummit. I guess it'll all come out in the autopsy. They found him this morning, so that clip we was watching yesterday that I clicked off of it. You don't give up on a search for a child, until you know 100% that everything has been covered. That that just shows how poorly these cities and towns and counties can be. And he said it on live air. He said, "We're going to cancel the search." But, you know, he said the FBI was there and all other kind of people in some other surrounding counties. I guess they're the ones that didn't give up on him. And they found him through thermal uh, this morning, um, and hadn't been able to pick him up. through thermal for 2 days now. Um, that pretty much tells me that he must have been in something that could have led him to be maybe by a creek or something where they could get partial thermal from him. And I wondered about that last night. 'Cause he was talking about them explosives, and then him saying Dad put that on me. I was wondering if maybe he put something on the child and threw him in some water somewhere. Uh, see anything nowadays that don't not surprise me no more. Like, I mean, um, but then I heard shot, you know. So I don't. Yeah, these children are the ones that's having to go through all this junk. And just like the guy said a minute ago here, he said, "Well, at least he can rest now." Well, his body's gonna be resting, but it won't be long. It will not be long till we start hearing him all the time. Um, Now that Rose has got involved with him, uh, that tells us right there that her and Summer is going to be carrying on with him, you know, and that's a good thing. It really is. Talk to me. Talk to me.
The I would have two less. Okay. Our extent. Hearing so. He's not Brady. Uh,
Family and then kidnap. Hey, Reese. Oh, one thing about it. I better say one thing about it. I forget it. Uh, I've been hearing a lot of stuff going on here in the house. Uh, well, I told her about it. You know, uh, last night on the way home, and anyhow, um, I was in there in the kitchen, and she was coming in there, and she stopped between the door of the kitchen and living room, and I seen her looking at something, and then she hurried and go there. I said, "What you doing?" She said, "I just seen a figure sitting on the couch." And I said, "Well," She said, "Well, she said that's where I sit." And I said, "Well, what did it look like?" She said, "It was just a mist, but just in shape of human sitting there in my spot on the couch." And I said, "Well, I was just coming in here, just trying to lower the tension with her a little bit." And after she seen that I didn't really say nothing about it, she eased off. But that y'all asked her about it the next time she's in here. She don't get off tonight till 9 o'clock, but uh, that was her first time ever getting to see a transparent uh, spirit, uh, which she said that she see all of it, but it was just transparent, like a blackish mist kind. Um, I thought it was funny, Um, but like I said, the sounds that we've been hearing, or I've been hearing in the house, is it sounded like everything in the living room fell, and then it sounded like a couple people running around the Wander's room, and then um, this morning, uh, I was sitting there in the living room and I heard someone start humming, and it didn't register to me that I've ever heard that voice before. Um, so apparently, uh, someone followed from a cemetery somewhere. Um, I've been seeing, a lot of black movement. Um, Sometimes it just be across the floor or across the wall real quick or something. And I'm I'm glad that she's finally seen this. So now she would know what to expect, or if we went into a place and she's seen it, something like that, she would already know. Okay, hey, I've seen it. It's here. JD's here. Everything will be okay. Um, and I've told her over the years, she's counting it down. I reckon it's 1 year, 4 months, and something. I told her ever since she's been here, I said, these people here in the house. And I said, sometimes they will follow you from a cemetery. And I remember the other day when I filmed that at uh, up here, the family cemetery up here. Uh, I didn't say only mother and mama could follow me home. I forgot to. Um, so I bet it was somebody from there. Um, if not, then it had to be Free Home Cemetery. I mean, that's the only ones that I've been able to hit here lately, and they've been a little bit too windy. I didn't even like having to upload them, but I want to put up some kind of content. Um, but I put the tripod behind the truck uh, yesterday, day before yesterday, it was, I did it up here, and it did block some wind, so I was all right with that one.
I mean,
You mean what? Pretty cup? That's
overlays.
that's my mother on this cup. For any of you new ones that had never seen it, um, That's
gotten together.
that's my mom.
We wouldn't because story.
Joey, yeah.
Colleagues in Mexico. And
Addie.
Watch after that.
I don't know any Addie.
sometimes
It's sometimes
child angry.
child angry. Yeah, sometimes they do.
How do we?
Oh, I figure Jonathan's pretty upset.
You know, I mean, woman.
I know. We know the father did it. See, even on I can swap, and they still talking about
Are the
Jonathan. His little body was shaking. I bet he was. He was scared to even go there. He knew that he was going to be in danger.
TV? No.
They'll probably tell the results of the autopsy here in 2 or 3 days, I guess.
I'm not. Read
Hey,
I
Joe.
understand.
all other. You know, because
James. Jameson. Jameson is
you
the father.
Not little them with
think that there are weak fighters. You never need.
and
Got there on Friday and haven't ate.
Exclusive countries.
On cheese.
And the fun. Have the as I
Don't say her on right.
wake
Blake.
down in
Reese. Reese is here, yeah.
you on
because
Well, you can look at it and see
that
it.
we
Who's Annie?
Who's Annie?
Oh, late. To me, what? Audience.
She needs to rewrite.
Button.
I don't think they get the.
Gingerly.
Yeah, that's who we're talking about now, Johnny.
He can't.
For that,
That's terrible.
that, both.
You know,
It's true. She, mother would.
Sabina texted me earlier and told me,
Fuck.
and I had jumped on here to let everybody know.
Wow.
LB. Listen.
I told them a minute ago I figured they'll probably have the autopsy done in 2 or 3 days. They may
What that?
tell the cause of death.
40 people.
People.
Bottles.
that's what. I mean,
It's true.
Into this. Please.
the basement.
It's in the bank.
Men, vad sa du?
Home.
I know.
Help. Working around.
Sounds to me like another child had been put off in a basement somewhere. Sounded like the only thing he had to eat was a piece of cheese or something. Probably another one coming up pretty soon that they'll want us to start talking to. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, guys. Like I said, she don't get off till 9 tonight, so if the weather don't knock us out, it'll be between 10 and 10:30. So if any of you's up, if you don't jump on, we'll see you then. Love every one of you.